unless there's a special action, because if Michele Bachmann has to vacate her seat for any reason, which is something to think about, Daniel Marans. So when an FBI investigation is looming, you never quite know how these things will play out. But Daniel Marans, Jim Graves, he's not blaming anybody for staying on the sidelines in his last race. He's unabashedly supporting Social Security and Medicare and opposing cuts to it, and he's taking a pragmatic view on gun control. That seems to be like I think this is a guy who's putting himself in great shape for this race.
Yeah, David, there's no question about it, and this is a race that's going to get national attention, only a fraction of which we've just started to see. I mean, if you go back to 2004, when the Republicans took out Tom Daschle, and it was in part because he was giving mixed messages on abortion in a solid red state, in a solid Bush-supporting state. That was a deer head for them to put over their mantle. And this isn't quite Mitch McConnell in terms of that level of taking out a leadership person on the Republican side, but in terms of people that poison the American debate, in terms of people that bring hatred, bigotry, small-minded, crazy right-wing paranoia to the American political discourse, Michele Bachmann is at the top of that list. And getting her out of Congress wouldn't just be about helping the Democrats. It would be about helping make us a better country. And then on the positive side, as you said, David, that's mostly what the way people have been looking at this up until this point. And I think that's going to be a lot of what we hear. But my God, having this guy in the program, I mean, this is the second time we've had him on. He's a wildly successful businessman. I mean, we're talking about a millionaire who's employed hundreds, if not thousands of people through his company, and who's just kind of has plain spoken, really kind of articulate, simple way of explaining the Democratic Party principles that we're all in it together. I mean, this is a race that has to have people really excited, and again, not just because of the negatives, though those are certainly factor into my thinking about the significance of this district and this election.
I'm with you. Look, I think you give Jim Graves a level playing field, which he did not have in his last race, and I think he's going to trounce Michele Bachmann. And to me, the only question is, will Michele Bachmann lose her seat because of Jim Graves or because of an FBI investigation before the election? Either way, you heard it here first. Michele Bachmann will not be in Congress after 2014.